Okay guys, so I want to set at my frequency that I normally play at with the vehicle turned off, and we're sitting at 13.1 volts. I don't have my frequency generator playing yet, but it's ready. All I have to do is hit play, turn the volume up. You could use, if you don't have a tablet for a stereo like I do, you could use a frequency generator on a frequency on a track, so whatever works for you. And I usually go with the tone that I use to compete with, my highest SBL tone. That's just what I set it at, which for me is 44 hertz. You know, whatever that is for you, that's up to you what tone you use. A lot of guys swear on, you know, 30 hertz or whatever. It's fine. I just use whichever one I play at, and I use a tone for the consistent power output. All right, so once you determine what your tone's going to be and you got that set up, the next thing that you're going to want to do is disconnect your speaker wires from your amplifiers. Get those out of there. Mine are still connected. I have my system turned on, running just off the battery, and I'm going to show you guys the basic way that we do this. The first thing you're going to want to have handy is a multimeter set on alternating current. So on this one, I set it to volts, and then hit the select button, and that puts it on AC. It's a very cool little meter. I picked it up at Harbor Freight, I think, for like next to nothing, but it does the job. Now you're going to familiarize yourself with this little holding procedure. Get your leads in such a way that you can handle them together, like so, and test the AC voltage output. All right, so once you have your voltmeter set up on AC, and you've also got an adjustment tool, which is just the end of a multi-bit screwdriver in your hand. These are the things you're going to be using. So the first thing to do is to determine which amplifier has the lowest clean output. Okay, and you're going to want to have your speaker wires disconnected, because you're going to need to crank this thing up to full tilt boogie. If you're at your house, you're probably not going to want to have, you know, maximum output going. Besides that, if they're not balanced yet, that can be an issue with your subs, you know, causing them to do crazy things. So you're going to want these disconnected, and then you're going to turn the stereo up to its highest volume that you play at, whatever that is. Then you're going to come out here and adjust your gain up until it starts to clip on both amplifiers. Okay? When you get both amplifiers up to clipping, then you back it off just a little bit to where it's still clean at max power. Okay? You've done that to both amplifiers, and now you're at this stage. So now you've got both of them set to clipping, and you still got the speakers disconnected. All right? So the next step to do is to find out what voltage each one of them is at. So let's say you measure this one, and it is it's putting out, say, 70 volts. Okay, you measure this one, and it's putting out like 73 volts. All you do is turn down the high one to match the low one. If you've got 5 amplifiers, same principle. Whichever one is the very lowest, you turn all the others down to match the one with the lowest output. I've got it turned up a little bit. We're just gonna check the voltage on these two together. Now we're looking at 5.53 on that one, and we're looking at 5.53 on this one. That's what you want to see. After you do what I said, you get them all the same at any voltage level or at any volume level. They should all read the same voltage. If you're doing that, then you nailed it. Okay, so why would I set my gains off the battery? Why not have the vehicle running? Well, whenever you have your vehicle running, you're producing more power than you are whenever the batteries are by themselves, right? As you heat up that thing and you get that thing going and you tax that system and all that, your voltage drops a little bit. It's usually going to come down to the battery, maybe a little bit into the battery while it's going full tilt boogie. So if you set your gains while it's at its optimum condition, and then you go getting down into the dirt while you've been playing for half an hour and giving it the beans, you're going to be clipping at the same level, same volume level, because as the voltage drops, your amp pulls more current and the clip level, the clean signal level, drops. So you'll get into the dirt down there and not even know it. So the best thing to do is to set your gains off your battery. That way, whenever you drop voltage down into the dirt, you know, you're still gonna be clean. All right, that little test I just did was my clean setting. Now I'm going to crank everything up and I'm going to go into clipping and show you the difference. And the reason I have a clipping setting is because in competition sometimes I push it into clipping for the last little tiny bit on the meter. Now again, I'm doing all of this off the batteries. No alternator, the engine's not running. Should have went into, oh yeah, you guys fell plumb over. Sorry about that. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this shot. The roof flexes so much that everything falls. Maybe this will last long enough. Maybe that'll stay put long enough. Hang on up there. Alright, so that was the clipping setting, and I can control all of that up front. So I know exactly how much power I'm going to put on. I know if I'm going to stay clean when I crank that knob all the way up. I know if I'm not, based on where I have my master volume set at. This takes time sorting this out, and I don't recommend everybody running your amplifier to where it can clip like that, because if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you will very quickly melt your voice coil and cause all sorts of problems. So set your stuff up to where it runs up to clipping and stops, and it won't go past that, and then match the others to that. It's that simple, not hard.